Welcome to the podcast series, Small Business Survival Conversations. Through our weekly conversations, we hope to provide you with strategies and insights, knowledge and expertise to enlighten you as you work to build and grow your business. Here are your hosts, Anna Steinfest and Dr. Michael Troyer.
Welcome, everyone, to our podcast studio. I'm here, Anna Steinfest, with my co-host, Dr. Michael Troyer. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Anna. Hi, everyone.
And today we are diving into the world of social media. And our main focus will be mastering tools and tactics for your small business growth. Because using social media is extremely, extremely important to make sure your business grow.
For a small business owner, you need to realize how big this social media has become as a marketing tool and a marketing opportunity. So we need to choose the right platform.
And Michael, yes, with all these social media platforms out there, it's very, very overwhelming to decide where to focus our efforts. So the key question for all of you is where your audience spend their time the most. That's it.
Yeah. For example, I admit, with all this technology racing past and filling up my computer that I love, nonetheless, I love email. So if you want to reach me, you probably have to come. I'm not the world. There's the world out there of Instagram, and that's a younger audience. You need to know that that's where you're going to find them, not on email. So you've got to figure out who your target audience is and what platform they like to use. From Instagram to email to Twitter to on and on. But you have to be sensitive, even if you don't use it yourself that much, where they are, not where you are, where they are in terms of your marketing effort.
Absolutely, Michael. I really like your idea about a lot of us feel very uncomfortable using some of the platforms. But guess what? You should go on YouTube, or there is a lot of training, Udemy, some other classes online, and take the class, because you want to make sure that you're reaching the audience you need to reach. If you're not on the platform, make it happen. Like Michael saying, like LinkedIn, if you're a B2B business, selling a product or service B2B, you have to be on LinkedIn. So there is some must platforms. You have to make sure that you're visible, you put content all the time.
Indeed, I think often how much we used to put into having a website page. You still need it. But frankly, LinkedIn has surpassed website pages as a way for people to find you and discover that they want to work with you. So these are the kinds of adjustments you have to make to this changing world.
And another tip here we would like to share with you is like, why don't you check your competitors?
Mm-hmm.
Because your competitors are already on the platforms they need to be. Maybe they put more money into their marketing efforts, and instead of you figuring out, just check your competitors, where they are predominantly, and what kind of ads do they put, or what kind of content are they putting on these particular platforms.
And don't forget that a quick prompt to a chat GPT or another generative AI tool can give you that competitor information. Ask that chat GPT tell you where your competitors are appearing and what are they saying. Think out that's so much more easily acquired, that information about competitors. Use it. It's a tool.
And one mistake you should avoid is a lot of business owners think that they have to be on every single platform. No, you don't have to be on every single platform. You have to be on the platforms your audience like to be a hangout. That's it.
I think how often in the past you and I have talked about knowing who the top 20% of your customers are.
Yes.
Now you want to know what platforms that top 20% are on, because that's the audience, that the top 2 or 3 platforms your best customers are on. That's where you want to be appearing. So you need to know that.
And the next takeaway we want to share with you today, or tip, is the content creation. It's very, very important for you to schedule that. you have to make sure that you have a rhythm. Like me and Michael, every time we'll schedule our podcast, there is days or weeks where we're like, oh, we're so busy. But we have to make it happen, or record several podcasts at once, and we try to put content out there on a regular basis.
I want you to think that this is much like feeding birds. I feed a lot of birds in my backyard. When I go 2 days and the feeders are empty, I lose some of my favorite birds. You don't want to lose some of your favorite customers because you're not consistent in your content sharing. So, as Anna says, get a schedule going. We worry a lot about being sure we're there every week for you with something to help you grow your business.
The other thing what you should utilize also is a tool, like Michael was saying, AI. You can utilize AI. There is a platforms where you can go and schedule. For example, you record several pieces of content and you schedule it every Tuesday, every Monday to be published. So you don't have to remember it. So you should automate some of this content posting, like Hootsuite, Buffer, all these platforms. Facebook offers that, Instagram offers that, a lot of the large platforms offer that. So make sure that you utilize that automation section of this content creation.
Another piece of this, by the way, is you're not just trying to sell your business and what you offer as products and services. It's also building a connection with those customers. So don't be afraid to go kind of behind the scenes on your business. Give them a little sense of how you approach business, your philosophy, maybe a customer testimonial, other things that give them a sense of who you are and why they want to do business with you from a more personal standpoint. This is such an easy opportunity to build relationships when there's a screen between you, but you can let them know more about you in some subtle ways that'll make them come back and want to do more.
Absolutely, Michael, because I read one article which said that usually people will consume 1,000 hours of content before they buy something. Again, we're talking about more of the service providers here, because if you're a restaurant, guess what? If you're on Pinterest and put all these great visuals there, wow, people will come to you without the 1,000 hours of content consumption. So again, depends which industry you are in. So, but again, I love that idea, Michael, because you're showing them sometimes your shop and they want to know, hey, this person, even in the kitchen, how do you cook? Is it clean? All these little nuances, it's great for content creation. And go to ChatGPT and ask to give you additional ideas and then follow through with content.
It's interesting. It's just a storyline on that. 30 years of teaching in the classroom, never thought much about it. I enjoyed teaching my content. Students coming up to me since then have said, what we really also enjoyed was learning about your family. I have a crazy family with 4 children, but they loved hearing those stories of the moment. I didn't go on at length, but that's some of the things they remembered. It was building a relationship and I didn't realize it. So don't lose out that part of what you can do to build a connection. Third area we want to touch on very quickly here is the importance of leveraging analytics, knowing about the numbers of your customer, the details, if you will. You can find all kinds of social media analytic tools that can provide you some insights about who you're reaching through your platform.
That's very important, because now when you dive deep, like if you're posting on YouTube, YouTube has analytics tool, Facebook has analytics tool, Google has analytics tool. It will dive deep and say your demographic. So people who are following you in your content is young generation, or it's middle age. So that will even give you additional signs how you should modify your content to reach out. Or imagine that the audience you're reaching is not the audience you intend to. You should change then your content. You should change something about your messaging and delivering it to make sure you adjust that. So it is very important for you to watch this on very regular basis.
I hope it's no surprise to you that Anna and I do exactly what we've just recommended to do. We look at how many of you download which particular types of topics, what themes seem to resonate with you by the numbers that listen in or download. We're paying attention. We want to be sure we're giving you what's useful to you. And yet there are times we also experiment. Would this topic draw some listeners? So we're doing the same thing we're recommending to you. Look at the analytics. Try to adapt to your audience and make sure you're serving them the way you want them to be served.
Absolutely,
So,
Michael. Can you recap?
you bet. We want you to, first of all, think in terms of social media as an important marketing platform, but choose the right platforms. Concentrate on 2, maybe 3, where most of your audience is going to be located, and then get really good at doing that. You want to then learn to build some content. You've got so many tools out there, from ChatGPT to others. They come on board online almost every day, new ones. But use them to help you create content. Think of things that will resonate with your audience, and don't forget to schedule it consistently with such devices as Hootsuite and Buffer and other programs that will make sure you're doing it on that regular basis. Finally, leverage your analytics. What's really working with your audience? Pay attention. That's where you want to go back and work some more. If something isn't working, then don't take the time. There you go. Mastering social media.
Thank you, everyone.
You've been listening to the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode. In the meantime, hook up with us on our Facebook group at Small Business Survival Tools and Tips. Till next time, thank you for listening.